There are many lessons God provides us regarding how we are to think in life, how we are to live out our life, and how we are to act in response to God's commands as outlined in the Word. Today I'm going to provide you 6 raw truths that lead to what? A successful life. So let's get started. Everybody, welcome back to Reason for Truth. Listen, let's look at these 6 raw truths. I'm going to keep today short. So what are these 6 raw truths of success? Well, number 1, we have to understand that light is sweet. What does that mean? Life is sweet and pleasant, and darkness is the opposite. Well, what that means is that light signifies life in the world, and darkness signifies death. Jesus is known as light. The devil's known as dark. Goodness is light. Darkness is bad. That's the bottom line. Second, if God gives you years on earth, enjoy them. God's gift of life on earth should be enjoyed since it's eventually what? It eventually terminates. Third, life is short. The days of your life are a gift and short-lived in the spectrum of eternity. Yes, as stated in number 2, life eventually terminates, so enjoy each day as a gift of God. Now you might be saying, what does it have to do with success? If you understand these 6 truths, you will find greater success and greater joy in life. Fourth, live life knowing that the days of living with enjoyment are what? Vanity. Notice that all of the past vacations you've ever taken are what? They're behind you. You have great memories, you got some pictures, but we're always looking for the next exciting trip, the next vacation, the next great time with our friends. The excitement of new home, how about that? You ever built a new home? My wife and I built a new home. It was, man, one of them, never forget that. We go ahead and took pictures of all the different times, stages of building. That was decades ago. Now the house is fairly old, fairly speaking. The excitement of a new home or a new automobile purchase, if anybody's bought one or even bought a used vehicle, what happens? They grow old. The old ones used to rust out pretty quickly. And those purchases grow faint and material things get old, just as we do. Only the things of God and unto God last forever. This boils down to the why and the purpose of our living. To live to self is a miserable existence because it's all temporal, right? It's vanity. So to live for God and eternity is spiritual led, and as such, life can be filled with joy if we embrace the nice things of this earth in their proper context and perspective, namely using them for God's glory and others first. That's fourth. Fifth, this is one for today's youth and those of us who are young at heart. Young people should rejoice in their youth, for youth is also fleeting, so enjoy that season of life, folks. If you're young, enjoy the season of life, because soon you'll be older like many of us are. And I'm still yet to be older like many of my parents and grandparents, their generation. But do so carefully, live rightly. All of us over the age of 50 can relate to this, and that you enjoy life while you're young. You must be careful not to be reckless. Reckless tendencies of the younger generation can get them into trouble and cause you to make decisions that you've got to live with the consequences for. That's just right. God can forgive you, but he doesn't usually make the consequences go away, if ever. Also, let's make sure to enjoy our older years, right, in the crown of life. Hair starts going a little gray. Let's make sure we uplift the next generation as to, profiting from them. This is a major problem, I think, in today's generation. Selfish Western culture, big time. That's 5. 6, and lastly, let's be careful to walk in the ways and with the heart and the sight, with your eyes for God. But know that God's going to hold you accountable to reverse a little bit back to the years of your youth. This pertains to how we act, the moral and immoral actions we take, and the things we prioritize in our youth as well as in our older years. So the question is, are we currently in our latter years or in our youthful years, chasing things of this world, or both? See that middle-aged crisis. You see a guy, he's like 65 years old, 60 years old, he's driving around a Corvette, with the roof down, looks like with the gold chain around his neck. There's some issues there, just saying. So are we chasing wealth over the things of God, or are we successful in our job, our career, even our family or our business? How about that? And it's certainly, are we successful in our community? But are we staying grounded in the ways of God to make all those things substantive and reflect God and His goodness and His greatness at the same time? Let me pause here to point out that most of us, and certainly in the West, but certainly in America, it's very easy to justify sinful life, missing the mark in life in light of having checked the God box with what we think as being a good person and how, or how much we give of ourselves, of our time, of our money and expertise. It's important for us to be honest with ourselves that in acting rightly in life, we must seek God first. And living rightly boils down to a matter of sacrifice. This means giving of ourselves and our riches out of discipline, not out of our excess. God sees all things what they are and not how we would like them to be. He sees the way they really are or how we mean them to be. Well, this is what I meant by that. No, God knows the heart. He knows exactly what you meant and what I meant. King Solomon put it this way to tie up everything I said today. He said, light is sweet and it is pleasant for the eyes to see the sun. So if a person lives many years, let him rejoice in them all. But let him remember that the days of darkness will be many. All that comes is vanity. Rejoice, O young man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and sight of your eyes, but know that for all these things God will bring you into judgment. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verses 7 to 9. And that kind of summarizes it all. So let's remember whatever season of life that you may be at, whether you're a very young person, maybe you're a middle-aged person, you're a young adult, or whether you're a senior, let's make sure that we're giving ourselves sacrificially. Let's make sure we're helping the next generation to up and come. Let's make sure we're not spoiling the next generation, but also teaching them the wisdom of God. That's all I got to say today. One way you can gain wisdom with knowledge is go to equippedacademy.com and take an online course. Seriously, equippedacademy.com. You can also go to christianonlinetraining.com. Hey, before you leave, make sure you do a couple things. Just simply like and subscribe. That's right. You may even hit the share button. Tell all your friends about it, but hit that subscribe button. Bam! Gonzalo Sinistro, the Italian right hook. We'll see you at the next episode. I'm your host, Stevie Garofalo, and this is your Reason for Truth for today.